this one church town, there's a gold dirt road to a whole lot of nothing. Got a deed to the land, but it ain't my ground. This is God's country. We pray for rain and think of when it's falling. Gets it brings a grain and a little bit of money. We put it back in the plate. I guess that's why they call it God's country. I saw the light in a sunrise, sitting back in a 40 on the muddy riverside, getting baptized in holy water and shot with the dogs running. Saved by the sound of a been found Dixie whistled in the wind that'll get you heaven bound. The devil went down to Georgia, but he didn't stick around. This is God's country. Turn the dirt and work until weeks done. We take a break and break bread on Sunday, then do it all again, cause we're proud to be from God's country. I saw the light in a sunrise, sitting back in a 40 on a muddy riverside, getting baptized in holy water and shine with the dogs running. Saved by the sound of a been found Dixie whistled in the wind that'll get you heaven bound. The devil went down to Georgia, but he didn't stick around. This is God's country. What kind of pine wood box I end up in? When it's my time, lay me 6 feet deep in God's country. Yeah! I saw the light in the sunrise, sitting back in a 40 on the muddy riverside, getting baptized in holy water and shot with the dogs running. Saved by the sound of a been found Dixie whistled in the wind that'll get you heaven bound. The devil went down to Georgia, but he didn't stick around. This is God's country. Yeah, I saw a light in the sunrise, sitting back in a 40 on the muddy riverside, getting baptized in holy water and shouting with the dogs running. Saved by the sound of a been found Dixie whistled in the that'll get you heaven bound. The devil went down to Georgia, but he didn't stick around. This is God's country. God's country.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Hey.
Welcome back to the Second Amendment Ranch, everybody. We still want to give a huge thanks to State of Mind for giving us permission to use their music. So State of Mind, thank you very much. If you like their work, if you like what you saw, you can go and check them out on YouTube at State of Mind. M-I-N-E.
Right.
Carl did his job again, by the way.
Yay.
He likes to get me wired and riled up before the show starts because he loves when I come in hot and heavy. And I typically find all my content for the shows right before the show. I do a little research here and there during the week. Like I look for my gun fails and everything, and y'all got to stick around for today's gun fail. This man is a try-hard, and I knew when I found that video I had to save it before it disappeared.
And they all got to comment what they see in it wrong before we even discuss what's wrong.
There's a lot.
Oh, Lord,
there's a lot.
Mm.
But so again, I like to find a lot of my work before the show. And I'm seeing a weird trend. And I don't think they realize that people aren't as stupid as they want them to be. And I'm doing all this research and I'm trying to find content for the show and I'm trying to find things that's going to get you interested and want to stay around, figure out my take on it, what I think we should do, what Carl thinks we should do, different things like this. Yes, Barbara, we are going to be going live on Fridays from 6 to 8. We're trying to do the last schedule didn't work out how we wanted it to. We weren't getting the same amount of viewers coming in. So we're going to try starting Fridays 6 to 8 because this allows more people to come in. You're not coming in right after church. We're back to the evenings, just a different day, so that way y'all can enjoy
And it
it.
gives Cameron a free weekend.
Yeah, and it gives us some extra time on our hands.
Right. So share this out, folks. But I want to give a shout out to Gaming Granny, who commented 17 minutes before the show went live. So if you're listening out there, thank you very much.
Yeah. Game and Granny was impatient. We thought about starting live just for you.
But we'll wait and see if you're still in here.
Yeah, we got to figure that out.
Yeah.
So, do y'all want to know what I'm
And
talking about?
I know whoever it is. It's on Second Amendment Ranch's YouTube channel.
Oh, my YouTube. Interesting.
It'd be interesting who it is.
So I'm sure y'all wondering where I was going with that segue. And it's kind of depressing news, but it should also wake people up a little bit. Because we've had a trend over the past couple months. We've had about 4 months since mass school shooting. And in this time frame, more and more states have opened up constitutional carry. Even Pennsylvania was looking at it until the Governor Fox or Wolf vetoed that ability, which is that's in itself its own little battle and discussion. If he's trying to veto something, yes, I'm here cleaning my trailer out. Guess who? I don't know.
Is that Dean Cerny?
I don't think Dean would be calling himself gaming.
Cleaning his trailer out. Huh. That's got us kind of.
I don't know.
Or could that be a long lost friend of ours in Texas?
That's a possibility. We'll find out as we go, won't we?
We will. The
But
hints will come out.
But as I'm doing this research and trying to find Zally,
Okay.
ringing any bells, Carl? I have a terrible memory. And if we haven't talked in a long time, it doesn't help me out.
Is that laughing? Zally.
Yeah, I'm struck.
Anyway, keep
But
sending. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
But I'm sure y'all are curious as to where I'm trying to lead. And well, look to me a day, because all these were within a couple hours of each other, these articles coming out. Anywhere from 3 hours to 8 hours was the time frame that I was looking at. These articles came to light. And it was a bunch of mass shootings, schools, different areas like that, colleges. What's that lawyer college? Yeah, I wasn't a lawyer, so I really didn't care.
The lawyer college?
It wasn't Harvard.
Oh, yeah, Yale.
Yeah, I think it was Yale. But it's weird. 4 months, give or take, and Luke and Haven.
Yeah, what about Luke and Haven?
That's who Game of Granny is.
Oh, I know who it is. It's Sally. Mary's mom.
Oh.
Yeah.
We're used to her on Facebook. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Drew is for a loop. Sally.
Oh, yeah.
How you doing? Luke and Haven's up here.
So it was just interesting to see how many school mass shootings just came to light magically, like out of nowhere. Because that leads me to believe something else. Obviously, certain political parties really dislike Americans having firearms, and they greatly dislike, and I've covered articles where they are concerned that constitutional carry is going to open up a wide variety of more shootings and everything like this. Yes, and I agreed with that article because it's going to have more shootings against assaults. So there you go. Yes, we're going to have more gun activity, but it's against the bad guys. So I'm not really worried about it. But the fact that just seemingly overnight, we just had this influx of mass shootings all across the country, like they were planned and timed and wanted to be brought to attention. Let me just show you a little about my
Do I have
research.
to put a graphic warning up?
No.
Okay, I didn't think so.
So, page 1, 13-year-old boy, 14-year-old boy, Georgia teen. All three of those are the same article. New York City school, 17-year-old for bringing a gun to a South school. Possibility school shooter. Suspect's father recently bought gun. Again, these three, same news. We have Alec Baldwin, high school, high school, school shooting. High school, school. Page 1. I'm flooded with all these school shootings. And just it's mind-blowing that they don't think we have a thought processing. Oh, they're not going to notice this. Yeah, because I do this weekly. And typically when I have a school shooting come up, I cover it here to talk about what you could have done to prevent it, what kind of safety features, what kind of locks. We had a show where we talked about safes and locking mechanism, trigger guards, handheld safes, huge just closet safes. We've covered from the smallest lock that you can put down the barrel all the way up to the biggest chamber, the biggest logical gun safe you can buy, because there are.
We had several people in the chat room that night asking us which gun safe would be best for them. We started showing pictures and describing which guns fit in, which one's better. If you just got a little handgun, if you want to go to the regular one with the dial on it, the key in it, fingerprint, eye, court.
We talked about all the different benefits from those. What one's quicker, what one's slower, panic situations, everything like that. We covered all that. A gun safe is going to save lives if you've got kids that are a little out there.
We even covered as far as the one with fingerprints. If for some reason you burnt your fingers, right? Make sure you have contact with the company so they can come in and help reinstate it.
And typically those safes themselves also have keypads.
Yeah.
So even if you do magically burn off your fingertips, you can unlock it and change the codes.
Or break your finger and then you got this bandage thing over and you can't go. It won't open.
Exactly. So we covered why you should have gun safes so many different times that it's insane that this is a problem. Now, I get we don't have a huge following. I get we don't have thousands of people coming and flocking to the show regularly. But still, you tell one person, that person tells one person, that tells one person, that tells one person. It's like a disease. It just spreads. And this is something 15-year-olds should know better without a gun safe. And I agree that you should train your kids.
But it depends on how they were trained.
Not only that, it depends on their mentality, because they're going through puberty. Their hormones are going chaotic. It's school. They're getting bullied.
Broke up with them. They're just going nuts. Yeah. But
they should know better. And I think you should start training your kids young, single-digit age. Probably, I would say older than 6, preferably 8. Start getting them used to it. And 5 years old. Perfect.
Right.
They're going to retain that.
I understand Barbara with her son and everything, military, ex-military, all that. Yeah, he's taught his son just like I was taught. By the time I was 5 years old, Papa kept his guns in a metal cabinet with a door you could open up anytime, right? But I knew better than to even go down there near that gun cabinet unless he was with me at any time.
Exactly. So it's not just training. I mean, there's 3 types of mitigating factors when it comes to safety, things that you can do. There's, I know there's environmental. Hold on.
Right, Barbara, I understand. Yeah, Chad, I understand they were caught gun safety in elementary, but I don't trust the schools in teaching them on guns. I really don't.
Let me see if I can find this real quick. There's long-term structural infrastructure, and then best practices, which come down to PPE. So that's kind of what I was looking for. So the best type is obviously to remove the safety factor, the concerns entirely, which is not itself, the only way to really not have to, the first type where it's completely removing the issue. Whereas if you want to own guns, you can't own guns if you're concerned about your child getting your hands on them. So that one's kind of out the window if you want to own firearms. Well, the second one is more of an environmental situation where you have a gun safe, you lock everything away whenever you're not using it, and they can't get in. That would be considered more of your environmental safety factor. Like they can't get in, they can't access it. It's no longer a concern at this point in time. But you also still have to worry about, not to mention most of the parents out there teach their kids gun safety. Anyways, I agree,
but I got something to say on that.
Which that would be the third mitigating factor, because you technically haven't removed the safety issue. You've just trained them about it and shown them that this is safe, a dangerous item.
This is one of the reasons Cameron created Second Amendment Ranch. Was you look at how many people have bought weapons since January that have never owned a weapon or been around a weapon.
Over 2 million.
Those are the ones I do not want them teaching kids about gun safety.
That is over there was a 2 million gun sale difference from 2019 to 2020. In 2021, I want to say it was Black Friday. This Black Friday again had sold enough firearms to arm the Marines twice over, something like that, which makes this the third or fourth year in a row. Yeah, we've been selling guns. Well, they've been selling guns like crazy.
Right here is a perfect example. We've got 3 comments right here. I want you to read each one I put up on the screen.
All right, Barbara DeSanti, my kids brought home a permission slip they had to sign for them to learn about gun safety, which I do think gun safety should be back in schools.
And who
teaches these teachers to make sure they are teaching the kids right? That's a phenomenal question.
Here is the one that worries me.
That's the answer that kind of makes me happy, but also worries me a little bit.
Right.
Because there are good and bad cops out there, just like there's good and bad lawyers, good and bad people.
It's the 2 words, I think.
That
worries me.
That too, it's
he wasn't for sure. It was the sheriff's department. It could have been the fire department.
Oh, good Lord.
It could have been the garbage men.
And even still, how many gun fails have we done on here with policia, federal agents? We've had many different. In fact, I want to say about half our gun fails have come from police.
Right. And Chad and Barbara, thank you for those comments right there, because that's a subject right there. If you're going to sign a slip of paper for your kids to do something, check the people out that's going to do that class.
Wholeheartedly agree.
Check them out before you sign and send that back. Because like I said, I could sit there and, grandkids could come up and say, okay, Pop, I need you to sign this so I can go somewhere. Well, I'm going to check who's driving the bus, what teachers are going, where they're going to, what safety, everything that's involved in it. Don't leave nothing up for chance.
Well, my bigger concern is the bias. If they use a group of people to teach them about gun safety and they push fear, if you see a gun, stop, find an adult, run away, avoid it, all this. No. Teach them respect. Teach them what it can do, what it should do, what it's meant to do, what it can be used for, how to clean it, how to handle it. Teach them the basic safety rules. Teach them about the gun, not just, oh, if you see it, run away. That's not how you handle a situation.
I understand. And what Chad's saying here, I'd be checking the teachers out. I want to make sure they're qualified.
I would too, but in the same aspect, teachers, for some reason, don't understand they cannot have a bias and teach at schools.
Well,
yet the majority of teachers I have had to deal with are extremely left-leaning. So if it's my teacher that's going to teach a teacher that's going to teach my kids about guns, why wouldn't I just do it?
Well,
like, what are your qualifications? Because I know what I'm qualified, and I know I'm by no means an expert, by the way. I'm a gun fanatic. I love different firearms, but we tell you all the time, if you have questions, ask them. If I can't answer it, I'll spend the time and research it.
Right.
I have never once claimed on the Second Amendment Ranch that I am a gun expert. I'm not. I don't know how to build them. I don't know how to break them apart and pull different components to mill out everything like that. I'm not. But I know enough that my knowledge has shown me what to do and what to not do. Parents should be responsible for teaching their children about gun safety. Nina, I'm going to play devil's advocate a little here. Yes, I think parents should teach about gun safety, especially if they have firearms. That should come down to the responsibility of the parents because they're going to teach them to their standards. They're going to teach them what they want, not what a school wants, what they want. So it's more pertinent for the home. This is what you do when you're home, you find the gun and stuff like this. However, if that parent has no information, knows nothing about guns, like what Carl just brought up, the difference in gun sales. Again, 2019 to 2020, there was a 2.3 million difference, not dollar amount, 2.3 million firearm difference between those 2 years. I don't want that 2.whatever million it was teaching their kids about gun safety. They're not qualified. I'm technically not qualified, but I know enough, and I tell y'all, this is my opinion, this is my recommendation. I don't have any certifications beyond the Navy. Parents should also be responsible enough to keep the guns safe and away from the children. Exactly. Again, agreed. I will not play devil's advocate with that one. If a parent does not know anything about guns, then it's their responsibility. Yeah, exactly. That I can agree with.
That's what this whole conversation started out as. What'd you say? 2 million?
Oh, yeah, 2 million
gun owners purchased guns since January that never had a gun, never been around a gun. Those are the ones they need to go get training and at the same time find an expert to help train the kids while they're being trained.
On that note, there is a large majority of the African-American female population that is going and doing that. So there are this mass majority of new gun owners, specifically African-American females, that are going out and learning about gun safety. And I loved watching it. It was on one of those liberal shows with all the ladies up there. And one of them said she bought a gun and the other co-hosts lost their minds. But no, you're 100% correct. I would not trust a teacher that has spent their time in college learning about math, science, liberal arts, whatever, to pick up a gun and in a 6-hour class be able to regurgitate everything I just put out. And again, I'm not an expert, but I know enough.
Yeah, Root, you're exactly right on that shooting up in Michigan. There were signs that this youth was troubled. They were at the school just minutes before the parents were talking to the teachers and principal and everything about this child. And then within an hour after that is when the shooting happened. There were signs out there. But we got some comments over here like
they're real interactive today. I love it.
Yeah, Jules over there. If parents are against guns, they still need to teach the kids about gun safety all the way through.
I agree.
They're going to be at somebody's house. They're going to be around somebody. I mean, they've got to know gun safety. They can walk in our restaurant up there to sit down and eat. At any given time, there are 4 or 5 gentlemen with handguns on their hips.
And I go back to last week's episode where we brought up the numbers and statistics per country that showed how large of a difference it is between America and the next country down. We have 120.5 firearms per every 100 people. Case studies show that out of 100 people in America, there's 120 and a half guns. Where the next one down was 69.3 guns per person, and that was the Falkland Islands with a populace of 2,163.
Oh, Jules, tell us more about that.
So, yeah.
My son's prevented a tragedy years ago. That's interesting.
Honestly, Nina, I can agree with that. To a small extent. Now, I think if we brought back wood shop and car fabrication and all these like trade school teaching classes, I had wood shop when I went through middle school and high school, and I missed it. Thankfully, I was fortunate enough to get to it before they got rid of most of it. I wish they had a car shop. That's great knowledge for kids. Being able to repair your car, especially if you break down on the street, that would have to be an extracurricular activity. That would be more of a.
I haven't heard that part. What Ruth said.
We're going to be talking about that today.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay, I'll save it then.
But with Nina, I agree. The teachers themselves should not be responsible for it. It should be a dedicated class with a hired individual that is specifically trained with firearms.
An expert.
Yeah, exactly. Don't just, we're going to have the teachers teach them. No. That's a terrible idea, especially if you have a biased teacher, because, again, teachers are pushing their biases. They're not teaching the left and the right. They're teaching their viewpoint, their opinion. They're putting Black Lives Matter, Antifa flags everywhere, but we can't have an American flag in school. They sent a kid home for wearing an American flag shirt, said it was racist.
And Sally, I agree with you. Put spanking back into school hands.
Agreed with that, too.
Yep.
Would have made me less of an asshole.
Which I got to go to the school Monday with Luke.
But, Nina, I do think schools should have the availability to have that class and it be a elected curriculum where, hey, my kid wants to learn about gun safety. They're interested. Okay. And it would be voluntary. Like, yeah, I want to learn about this. I think it would be interesting. But I still think there should be some, maybe like get everybody into the auditorium and do a quick hour discussion of certain things you can do and give them a little bit of information. I'm not telling flood the kids with everything. Basic rules for a firearm, what to do when you come across one, different things like that. That way the kids that don't want to learn about it and the parents that are biased and very far to the left and don't want their kids knowing about gun, at least they get a little bit of information that they would not receive from the parents. Because you have to remember, there are so many parents, there's so many people out here that are too far to the left that even we open the show to everybody. All we ask is you be polite, professional, and you have a conversation. As soon as it turns into confrontation, it's over. We're done. You're banned. You're not coming back. And we've ran into multiple people here, specifically from Twitch, that come in and just start bashing us for what we do. And we're not, you need to have guns. I think you need to have guns. I'll say that shit all day long.
Mm-hmm.
That's me, because I'm also reading these articles constantly and seeing what's happening in the mainstream media, what's happening with the government, everything like that. And I'm you work for the government long enough, you start to learn not to trust the government. But they should have some modicum of respect and education for a firearm, enough to know what its purpose is, what it's utilized for, what it can be, different things like that. And you can fill that in an hour to 2 hours.
Oh, yeah. Easy.
If you do that once a year, you got to be in that school for 4 years. At the end of it, you know exactly what to do. Especially if your parents don't just hate guns. You don't need and that crap.
Mm-hmm.
That way, when they grow up, they can make their own decision. Schools would really have to educate the parents. on the class because I can see a lot not going to it. Well, you say that, but you have to remember there was a school that was trying to sneakily, which means under the parents' noses, no permission slips, no consent, give every single child at that school the COVID-19 vaccination. So it would here would be my recommendation for this. Send out a letter, all the parents, and tell them every Friday, every last Friday in February, we're going to be doing a gun education course for the whole school. That way you let them know it's on this day, it's going to be this long, we're going to do it at this time frame. That way, if they don't want their kids to go, they just pull them out. Hey, my kid's not going today. And if they want to be that strict and that controlling and don't want to let their kids have some education about this, then that's their prerogative. I'm not going to say, do it under their nose. But at least this way, the kids that do want to go there and the parents that want them to go there, they all know when it's coming. And I want you in school today. You can't be sick. This is important stuff for you. And it gets the kids out of class for a couple hours.
Right. Exactly. And folks, if you like the content we're talking about and everything, please share this show out.
And Dina, I agree with you. They need to be upfront with the information they put out. They need to give them a script. This is what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the basic rules of safety, which what I mean when I said it, keep your finger off the trigger until you intend to shoot. Keep your gun on safe until you intend to shoot. Never point the gun at anything you don't intend to shoot. Know what's behind your target. All those fun little tidbits. Always treat a firearm as if it were loaded. The biggest rule: always treat a firearm as it's loaded. Exactly. Honesty is the best policy. If you try and hide it, there's so many Karens out there. They're going to try and sue if you do this. So tell them this is what we're going to talk about, and put it all in a memorandum. That way, you send it home with the kids. Parents get the note, read it. Okay. It's during school. Do I want to take my kid out of school this day or do I want them to see this? And then they can make the decision for that. They can be like, okay, well, you're not going to school that day. Whatever. That was your choice. That was your decision. You do you. But all the other kids and the parents that forget that day is coming up, you were honest. You told them everything you were going to talk about. You let them know when it was coming up. So if they forget that that day was the day the kids were going to get taught about firearm safety, then it's on them and nobody else. They screwed up, not the school. So that way you still have the chance for some of these kids with super controlling and demanding parents, they get that education that they really should have. It's important information to know. Again, in the United States, there's 120.5 guns per every 100 Americans. The chances of you coming across, I remember the first time I came across a firearm. After my brother took me shooting a lot, but outside of the house and everything like that. Guy in a Denny's was concealed carrying, shirt was too short, bent over, firearms right there. I did nothing. It's not my problem. He's carrying, he's doing a lawfully protected activity. That was like 16. He's doing a lawfully protected activity. I'm not going to say shit. I'm not going to do shit. He's carrying.
Mm-hmm.
But he was breaking the laws, so it wasn't like, I'm going to run and call the cops. And no, he's a grown-ass man. I'm coming up on age. I know what to do. I know what he's doing. I know why he's doing it. I'm not going to do the wrong thing. Like, I'm not going to run back to, daddy, that guy's got a gun.
And Sally, yes, we'd love to have Diamond and Silk come on as guests.
But that way, Nina, it's a cover your ass situation. You told everybody every bit of information that was going to be put out, everything you were going to discuss, when, what time, what day, everything. That way, we're going to sue you. You can't. We told you what you were going to do, and we gave you the option to pull your child out of school. No note, no letter, no nothing. We're not asking for a doctor's note, anything. So we did what we needed to do, and your permission was sending your kid to school that day.
Oh, you're lucky, Nina. You reading that one?
Hubby had just bought a .357 revolver, caught it just before it hit the ground. Good catch.
Yeah.
That's certain people need to, and correct me if I'm wrong, I'm going to assume you're a smaller person. You were obviously, you said it was your first time, so you weren't trained very effectively. Didn't get a good stance, didn't get a good posture, kind of limp wristed a little bit. And again, correct me if I'm wrong. Weren't anticipating as much, and you want to know what kind of recoil you're dealing with, but you're not going to anticipate. You're not going to, okay, I'm pulling the trigger. I need to go this way and try and overcompensate before you even pull the trigger. What I mean is, I know how much this gun kicks. I've shot it 100 times, 1,000 times. I know what it's doing. Okay, so he was teaching you. Then he was being an ass. Should have started you with something a little smaller.
Yeah, he don't give you a bing.
And that's my recommendation for anybody interested in picking up a new gun. Go find in Houston, Texas, we have Athena Gun Club. And I know we have plenty of other ones, but I know this one off the top of my head. You can go in and ask to rent a gun. And it's like $35. It's not a lot. You buy the ammo for it, you shoot as much ammo through that thing you want, take it back up, they deal with the cleaning, everything. All you got to do is show up and pay. That's it. But Chad, you bastard, that's where I was leading. Start small. 22 is your more average, smallest round. Now, there are smaller rounds than a 22, which just so happens I have some here on my desk.
17.
You have the 17 hammer. Where's that? There it is. So just for...
He keeps them in his pill bottle, folks.
I mean, if this doesn't tell you I'm a little bit of an addict, I don't know what will. So this is your average 22 right here. Let's see if I can get the camera to focus on it. This is a 9mm. Little shorter, but a lot skinnier.
Yep.
Huge difference from the 22 just in the 9. And the funny part is this is your average 22 where they still have 22 subsonic. This is, I got fat fingers, y'all. Y'all got to work with me a little bit. This is your 22 subsonic. That is it is smaller than my pinky nail. So they do have plenty of smaller rounds to start with. And I'm not saying
rounds, less gunpowder.
Exactly. And I'm not saying you have to start at the smallest round. You know what I started at? 45 ACP.
Yeah.
And my mom, it was hilarious because I'd shot my brother's 45 for years. I shot a 9 in the Navy, got out, and the first gun I wanted to get was a 1911. Well, it was the first gun. The first gun I wanted to get was a Smith & Wesson M&P Pro Series. It was a really nice gun, but it was very rigid. It would dig into your hands real bad. The slide pull was heavy. It looked great. It was a decent price. I'm like, I like how it feels in my hand for the most part. Found a Colt 1911 Gold Series. Oh, gorgeous gun. Took it, and my mom, she walks up. She came with me. She's like, why do you want such a huge gun? Why do you need a cannon? And she let me see it. She put it in her hands, and it just engulfed her hands. It's like, hand it to me. And I picked it up, and she just goes, oh, that's why. My mom is like 5'1". I'm 6'3", 280 pounds. I make a large variety of firearms seem small. And I love it. Because that means most of the ones with the bigger kick I can handle a little better. So I started off stronger than I would have recommended her. For her, I'd be like, start at a 9, start at 38, 38 special, 38 plus P, maybe a 40, maybe, but start smaller and then work your way up. Actually, no, the first gun I shot was a 12 gauge church camp. Forgot about that.
See, first gun I shot was 22, 410, 12 gauge. And then I shot a 45 6-shooter. That was the first handgun I'd ever shot. And you talking about something to kick like a mule.
Let's see, I've shot 9. I'll do calibers. I've shot 9mm, 45 ACP, 40, 20 gauge, 12 gauge, 410, 22, 5.56, 50 Beowulf, 338 Lapua, 6.5 Creedmoor. I think that's been it.
Now, I've got a lot of bigger guns and everything, but
yeah,
especially the military.
Do y'all want to see the comparison of a 338 Lapua versus a 22 LR? Let me know in the comments below, because I have some sitting over in my bathroom. Don't ask why. I just feel bad for whoever decides to break in. I'll put it that way. And the neighbors. And the neighbors' neighbor. Yeah. But if you want to see the size comparison of 338 Lapua versus 22 LR, I'll be more than happy to show you. But we got way off topic there. We were talking about.
We did. But our chat room's right in on it and everything, keeping us going too.
Nina, we are on Facebook, YouTube, and we're about to be kicked off Twitch because they don't like the fact that we have music rights from State of Mind, that intro video. We have all rights and permissions to use their music. And Twitch doesn't like streamers utilizing music. But we are on the Bill of Rights Network, Facebook and YouTube. We're on the Second Amendment Ranch, Facebook and YouTube. We're on a lot.
Here we go. We're on Warriors for America Facebook. We are on HTX Renegade Radio's Facebook. We're on Second Amendment Ranch Facebook. We're on the Bill of Rights Network Facebook. We're on the Bill of Rights YouTube channel. We're on the Second Amendment Ranch YouTube channel. We are on Born TV Twitch channel and the Second Amendment Ranch Twitch channel. All live right now.
Yeah, we're but we love seeing new people, and any questions you have, we love getting new people because y'all always come with more questions.
And even what page are you watching on? That's interesting.
Yeah, that's a good question. What Facebook are you on? But we love y'all. Our regular viewers seem to go quiet because they just want to see me go off on tangents. But when I get new viewers, I love when y'all interact, when you ask questions, when you want to see different things, when you want to see new things. HTX Renegade Radio.
Thank you, Nina. Check out their show too.
Oh yeah, they're good. They talk a lot about the Texas border.
Oh yeah,
and
everything going on.
Eventually, I'll show you some of the toys. I bring them out every now and again. Just give.
Barbara.
I show a couple of them just to give Facebook an aneurysm. If you see me freeze up after I brought a firearm up on the camera, yeah, Facebook just had an aneurysm. It's hilarious.
Oh, it is. But we don't get blocked for that.
No, we don't.
We get blocked for the videos.
I guess nobody wants to see the comparison of 338 to 22. That's disappointing. I thought that would be.
Chad, we're not on Warriors for Ranchers. We're on Warriors for America.
Yeah. Game.
You
Sally,
sure can.
Go ahead.
Go right ahead.
Yeah. Y'all
Sally, we'd love it.
Barbara, it's because I talk about guns so much. I just got to talk for more than 20 minutes, and they're like, shut up.
They see Cameron, he gets on a rant. They go, we're just waiting. We're just waiting.
They've been wanting
to see us blink, you know we're being watched.
They've been wanting to block me for a long time.
I was on another show. A guy was doing that.
I know. That's why I had to bring it up.
Oh, you seen that too, huh?
Yeah, y'all don't have to ask us to share anything. You can share all you want. All means. You want to show anybody our videos? It works better for us.
That's right. You can share our show anywhere. The more that share, the more we get out.
Carl, do you want to see the comparison of 338 to 22?
I do.
Nobody else wants to, so I'm going to do it.
And if you're new to the channel, you can watch Cameron's hair grow back. Good, Chad. Watch on. Ruth wants to see him.
Damn green screen.
He can't hear me right now.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, we was talking about you left and right.
Yeah, I can tell.
I know. But Ruth wants to see the comparison.
So again, this is your normal 22 round. Let's see if I can. So there you go. My fingertip is almost as wide as this round is long. This is 338 Lapua. The 22 is is just a little taller. I'm settling the 22 on the brass for the 338. And you can see there is not much difference from just the bullet.
And that 338 will reach out and touch somebody too.
338 Lapua, here's a funny little interesting tip. So the 50 BMG was designed to punch through an engine block and shut down vehicles. Now, snipers love them so much and the mass amount of casualty damage that they would do that they continue to use them. Typical snipers, however, especially old school, continue to use 338 Lapua, 308. They're touching 6.5 Creedmoor. That was a newer round to replace 308. It's a slimmer round with less impact force, but it has more accuracy and range. 338 Lapua was designed to break through the body armor they were using back then at 1,000 yards. Now, modern body armor has improved drastically. In fact, they're starting to make a level 5 body armor, which can stop 50 BMG, which is even bigger than this 338 Lapua. However, the amount of force taken on your chest, if they hit that plate, you are still dead from internal injury. Right. I would rather not wear body armor and go against the 50 BMG because I want to die a little quicker. Gunny, you're stepping on my cable. Like, stop.
And Chad bought a 6.5 Creedmoor last year.
I love it. I love my 6.5.
Mm-hmm.
I dare you to hit the rim of a 22 with a hammer. No, because that's a rimfire round.
We're smarter than that.
Yeah. Sorry, Chad. For those of you that don't know what rimfire means, we'll pull the rounds back out. So I want y'all to tell me the difference between the 338 Lapua. Come on, camera, focus. 338 Lapua.
You're going to get that one real close.
Yeah. Come on, focus. And this 22. So there they are side by side. What's the difference that y'all see?
And I can't say.
No, you can't.
See, I already knew what he was going to say.
Chad, give him a second. I know you know. Give him a second. What's the difference between rimfire, which is the 22?
There you go, Nina.
Center where the firing pin. So in a normal round, typically anything above a 17 hammer and a 22, a 22 is a rim fired round, which means the impact on the base of that whole round can cause that round to discharge. Where for a center fire round, it has to have the primer pin inserted. The primer pin is actually where the hammer would drop and hit, or the
primer cap,
bolt carrier, the carrier, anything like that. It's going to hit that specifically in the center, and that primer causes a spark, which ignites the gunpowder. Rimfire rounds do not have that primer inserted at the bottom.
Nope, they're flat. All you do is hit them with something and bang.
Boom.
That's why they, back in the day, and they still, some idiots do today, built zip guns. Did you ever see one?
No.
Oh, you never seen a zip gun? Put a 22 in there and have a spring-loaded deal behind it and let go.
Oh, I've seen. Pop. Yeah, they've got a pin zip gun now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen those.
Oh, we used to make them.
Yes, Nina, the whole bottom will cause that 22 to fire.
You're exactly right.
Hey, Dad, since you're here, does this look familiar? See if he recognizes that. Because it may have been his at one point in time. Good having you, Jules. Oh, man, we killed a lot of time going over the school safety and everything.
And I've got to put a shout out to your dad to let him know. I seen pictures you guys all had for Thanksgiving. They were some great pictures of the family.
He's always been good at taking photos.
Yeah. But
I wish I could take photos
together in that one photo. That was awesome.
I wish I was as good at taking
Show
photos.
closer.
I did.
No, show. There you go.
Yeah. Does this look familiar? It should.
We'll wait and see.
Yeah, we went off on a long tangent. So long.
Hey.
And so there may be a chance. I reached out to another singer. Anybody here know Earl Dibbles Jr.? Because we reached out to him to try and get his permission to use his music, Don't Tread on Me, for our halfway point. So hopefully I hear back soon. I'm trying. I've got 2 potential sponsors lined up, and we contacted I sent an email to Earl Dibbles Jr. trying to get permission to use their music. So that way, to lead up to our gun fail, now we have something to keep you entertained.
Yeah, Chad, that wasn't a smart thing to do back then.
No, but it was funny.
Yeah, we put a lot of pennies on tracks.
Where'd it go?
Yeah,
So
51 minutes into the show.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks to everybody commenting over there. You're keeping it going live. Without you, we don't have a show.
It's more fun for me when y'all interact and I can answer your questions, hit on it, research stuff, instead of just reading articles out for y'all and kind of covering our takeaway and points. It's much more entertaining. The more y'all interact, the better the shows go. So any questions, comments, concerns, bitches, gripes, rights, last alibis, let me know. I'd be happy to run through them.
Right.
And I'll play devil's advocate on some of them. Some, not all. But I think we're close enough because this gun fail today, I sent it to Carl. And remember what I told y'all at the beginning of the show. You had to stick around for this one.
Yeah.
Because this one is atrocious. Thankfully, nobody got hurt. But this gentleman
who was filming him.
This gentleman, I bet you he had his phone on a stand and a GoPro. Gentleman was too much of a tryhard. Way too much. I can't play the audio for music rights, but I'm going to play the video. As soon as I saw this video on TikTok, I knew I had to save it immediately because it was not going to stay up long. 1, TikTok hates guns in the first place. 2, he's shooting live rounds at an undisclosed location. 3, he's an idiot with it. And I mean, immediately after I saved the video, my TikTok was just flooded with all this guy getting stitched and bashed and berated for what he was doing. So which investments do you think the Democrats are profiting from when they scream gun control and people go panic buy? Well, if you look at everything, and before the pandemic, there was a Bill Gates actually bought a huge influx in, I want to say it was Pfizer, bought stocks on disease control and prevention. This was before the pandemic. Anytime something like this comes up, Democrats know something because they sell all of one stock and buy all of another stock. So if you actually track them and follow them, if you want to make a lot of money, that's probably an easy way to do it. Just throwing that out there because, again, typically over the past 4 months, we haven't seen this massive influx of mass shootings. But now all of a sudden, magically, we're back to mass shootings again. And I know one of the reasons why is because Kyle Rittenhouse got acquitted. All charges dropped. They wanted him guilty because they wanted guns to be banned. They wanted huge. And they were claiming that the judge was biased. He was a Republican. He voted. When if you look, he was actually a Democrat, voted Democrat for decades.
Mm-hmm.
But he knew the law, and he did.
He knew the Constitution.
He did not sell out his beliefs in this country and this freedoms and the laws that we uphold to this country. He did not let bias control him. He did what was legally right, and mentally, morally, he did the right thing. Because if we decided to arrest Kyle Rittenhouse and then imprison him for his actions when all he did, all the footage that we had, all the videos, all the audio recordings, the dude screaming, "Shoot me N-word." And then, I mean, the dude died doing what he loved, trying to touch little kids. If If you haven't seen that segment, we showed it. What was that, last week or the week before last? It was hilarious.
But anyway, that question came from Joshua Michael, new listener here. I don't recognize that name.
Neither do I.
Welcome.
But that would be, if you want to invest, follow what the Democrats are doing. Obama cornered the market on the 22 rounds. 22 round is still cornered. And he hates, technically, the 22 is created to be an assassin round because it has enough force to go into a skull, specifically around the eye socket, but it does not have the strength and velocity to go out the skull. So all it does is turn your brain into soup. That's why it was preferred by assassins for many, many years. It's also a very popular pop round because they were just, just take it out and plink all day long. No recoil, we talked about that. There is no such thing as a no recoil gun.
Right.
Different. Yeah. But that was such a common round. He was trying to stop the market because you could buy that round, 500 in a box, and it was like $20.
Yeah.
So you could buy easily thousands of rounds for nothing. And now you've got all this. 22 is still going to do some damage.
22 was the favorite bullet and gun of all the hitmen back in the 30s, 40s, and 50s.
Oh, agreed, Sally. 100. So they have to push the gun ban agenda to disarm Americans so they think they can force their vaccines on us via submission.
Yep.
That's true, because if Biden's already admitted he plans on sending out task force and kidnapping teams to make people get the vaccination, when the Supreme Court already outlawed the fact that it goes against the Constitution, people's constitutional rights. So they want to vaccinate people via force. Not right. That's kidnapping. And technically in the Constitution, even if it's police, if you're being unlawfully kidnapped, you can do whatever is within your power to stop them. And I do mean anything. Do I recommend it in certain situations? No, it's easier to just sue. However, this situation, I would say use all force because I'm not getting that damn jab. Holy crap, y'all got me going everywhere today. I love it.
Hey, thanks for helping get him riled up.
Where was I going?
Before the show, I got him a little bit. The rest of you get it done.
Oh, that's where I was going. You know that TikTok chick we showed a while back, Carl, the Army?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's back, and somebody posted a comment on one of her videos talking. I should have saved it. I didn't. He posted, the reason why an invading force won't come to America is because behind every blade of grass there will be a gun. And she took it literally. So she was like, how tall are you? How do you not know this quote being in the military? I was in the Navy and I know this quote.
Yeah.
This was from one of, I want to say it was Japan's leaders talking about invading America during the World War, saying you cannot invade homeland America because behind every blade of grass there will be a gun. Talking about how many guns Americans own. Not all Americans own guns, but the ones that do own guns make up for the ones that don't own guns. Again, look at a ratio, 120.5 to 100.
Brian Gibson. I don't recognize.
Oh, that's my uncle.
Oh, that's your uncle?
Yeah, it's my biological uncle.
Oh, you got an uncle?
Yeah.
Oh,
After my biological mom had passed away.
Well, welcome to the show, Brian.
My grandma actually reached out to me and said we would love to talk to you and meet you. And I still got to plan a trip to Tennessee. But yeah, I've actually kept in touch with my biological family for the past on and off for the past.
You never come home. You go to Tennessee.
For y'all,
you get in the mountains.
I love Tennessee. It's beautiful up there.
And Nina, you're right. She is an idiot.
Joshua, wholeheartedly agree. She's doing it for clout. She's trying to boost her views so she can get money off TikTok. However, in uniform, per the UCMJ, you cannot talk about your political biases.
Right.
Cannot badmouth the American citizens or the leader of the free world, which means I couldn't bash who I was under in uniform. And she has been doing these videos in uniform, which means she is violating the Uniform Code of Military Justice every time she does a TikTok bashing America. So there you go. If you really want to push anything on her. I wish I would have kept my UCMJ manual. I still had the Blue Jackets manual floating around somewhere. I think I finally got rid of that after I got out in 2015.
You're right, Nina. In uniform, you're representing the United States, and you're representing the Constitution of the United States.
Which means she's violating. Oh, I do too. Which means she's violating the United States Constitution. She's violating the Uniform Code of Military Justice. She's violating her oath because she has actively said, if you do not listen, hey, new veteran too. What branch were you, Josh?
Yeah, just got out last month. Thank you for your service.
Congratulations. Welcome to the dark side.
Yeah.
You'll like it here. Gun fail. Army. God, there's so many Army. Before you leave, Josh, I'm going to put our Discord. I always try and do this at the end of the show, but I'll put our Discord link in the chat so you can join us in our Discord. If you ever want to talk to myself or Carl, you're more than welcome to at any point in time. Easiest way to get a hold of us.
If you ever want to come on the show and discuss anything,
you're more than welcome.
That's right. That's how we get a lot of our hosts, guests on here, is out of the chat room.
All right. Okay. I'm an Air Force brat. Yeah, it's the top. Stop. Give me 3 minutes, guys. Give me 3 minutes to show you this gun fail, please. I'm loving where this is going. I've gotten covered.
He hasn't had this much fun in years.
It's been a long time. The show was starting to drone on. I'm like, come on. Y'all got to interact. It makes it more fun for me. I'm smiling today. Come on.
And I like the numbers popping up in the corner over there. So share it out. Okay.
Screw it. Let's just get to the fail.
No, do what you got. You got 3 minutes.
This man is, by every definition in the book, a try-hard. He is doing everything in his power, and God, I wish it would have saved his hashtags, because he was talking about toughest person in north of the Mississippi, big badass, great gun shooter, like just fluffing himself up. And I'm like, bro, half of the crap you're doing is useless or dangerous. Nina, I'll agree with that too a little bit until you try and wear your husband's rank. I'm like, well, my husband was a chief. He was a sergeant major. You need to show me the same respect. Man, you're a civilian. Relax. But it's 9,000 Marines rules vaccines. I'm not quite sure what that means.
Shall they let us know?
Oh, God.
Oh, we got to enlarge this.
I don't
go over to that one.
I wish I had a backup because I really don't want to watch this again. I really don't. This one hurts. This one hurts.
You got the volume on, right?
Nope. Music rights. We can't.
Damn.
We can't.
That even adds better effect to it.
I know. But he did put music we don't have rights to, so we can't use it. At least I don't think we have rights to.
So when we show this video, folks, as soon as the video is done, in the comments, post everything you see that is wrong with this video. Oh yeah, Barbara, they are.
I'm gonna need.
Oh, time to get the whiskey out.
Yeah. Let's watch that again. And one more for good measure. So I'm going to stop it right here.
Joshua seen it 2 days ago. Nina says it was my dad. He was sergeant in small arms, hand-to-hand MP, automatic weapons. He was also recon.
Bravo. I was a submariner. And they wouldn't let me qualify on the M249 because they were afraid of my temper. Which I don't think that's a bad. Having an angry bastard with a big gun dealing with pirates is probably the best situation you could hope for. Hey, fire a warning shot. You shot him in the face. It's a warning. How? You shoot one of them in the face, you tell all the others that you're a really good damn shot.
Chad Candy goes, does this guy think he's Alex Baldwin or
we're going to be talking about him hopefully at some point in time.
Oh, we will. We're not limited.
What did y'all see wrong? Other than just saying the whole thing, you can't say that with this situation. What problems out of the dozens that he did? What did you? Yeah, John. They specifically they told us all, hey, we're going to qualify multiple people through the divisions. That way, when their division stands watch, they have a heavy gunner. Okay,
yeah, Root got part of it there.
I threw my name in the hat. My chief was like, okay, but they're not going to allow you to qualify. I'm like, why?
Everybody's coming up with good ones.
Yep, Nina, that's one of them. So my chief just let it go, but the chief of the boat walks up to me and he goes, look, Bates, we cannot qualify you because we know you have an anger problem. And by the rules of engagement, you have to give a warning shot. I can do that. No, we know you're going to shoot him. Well, how do you know that? We've seen your scores. We know how good you are with guns. The fact that you're a mechanic blows our mind every time we go to the range. You're not qualifying this gun. Fine.
I told him I would shoot one of those.
Woman,
you know, the warning shot? It didn't say it had to be the first one.
And the NRA. Technically, most states don't even allow warning shots. Exactly, Sally.
Yeah.
So we covered a lot. Exactly. No muzzle. I want to start with the biggest problem out of all of this. I want you to look at this top screen, right where my mouse is circling, how he shows himself completely surrounded. Completely surrounded. On screen, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That looks like 7 right there. 8, 9. There's probably another guy right there. 10 bodies. And this is just from one camera angle. Down on the other camera angle, you can see matching this guy up here, right here, there's more bodies directly behind him at point blank range. A gun, and the fact that he let himself put himself in this situation blows my mind. Because as soon as if you get circled like this, you screwed up. You should never let your aggressor get this close or surround you entirely like this. Everything he did is null, void, moot for the fact that he can, no matter how quick he is, it's 15 feet. At 15 feet, you have 3 seconds. I want to say that's the number. Y'all have to look it up. Don't quote me on this. 15 feet. You only have 3 seconds to get your gun out. On average. That's not 15 feet. That's not even 6 feet. He's not social distancing in this video. All they have to do is reach out and grab him and pull him down, and he is now useless.
Especially that was the one in front.
That's the biggest thing I saw right there. The second thing is he had a hostage that he was shooting around and just clocking. He had no control over him. His arm was resting on it. He didn't have control of the hostage, which means that person can turn, swing, do whatever he needs to do. That hostage is now still an aggressor. 21 feet in 3 seconds. Thank you, John. 21 feet. So I was off by 6 feet. 21 feet. That's a large distance. And 3 seconds. That's definitely not 21 feet. Thank you, John. We need him on the show. He's educated. He's a little he's better with the numbers. So that was number 2. Having the hostage, no control. just loosely swinging around trying to shoot everybody. And then he kept, let's see if I can catch it. So, control of hostage, somewhat. Crossed himself there, drops one gun, empties another one, keeps flashing himself, reloads.
That one.
Yeah. Oh, I missed it.
Yeah, back it up.
Oh, he's right behind that dang thing.
There. That's the ugly one.
I know it's blocked, and I know he just emptied his magazine.
But
that is still against the rules. That is still basic education. That is still common sense, common knowledge. That is something that is taboo at the least. You should never muzzle flash yourself. Now, I have done it, but I have made sure the gun is completely empty. There's no ammo around. There's no magazines around. There's nothing. I do it in a completely separate room from everything, and I'm doing it to inspect. I don't have a barrel snake yet. That's my problem. I need to get a barrel snake to check the cleanliness because I can only see so far with a flashlight. But I do it in the comfort of my home in a safe manner, sober. This situation, he is getting attacked. He's in a hostile encounter, trying to reload his gun with that barrel pointed right at his chin. I don't know about y'all. I like steak. I like hamburgers and hot dogs. I don't think if he inserted that magazine, that round went off, I don't think he's going to be eating too much solid food for a long
Joshua.
Time.
Slow motion on that video would be excellent.
Oh, God. I wish we had somebody to do that.
And you know, the funny part, he was shooting there, all the bad guys around there, or trying to. The one directly behind him, he never shot.
No, not
and
one.
He's the closest.
My favorite part is, let's see if I can get back to it. Oh, that right there. The crossover. The Boondock Saints crossover. If you don't know the scene I'm talking about, it's in the strip club.
Yep.
Everybody, I have the Boondock Saints prayer tattooed on my ribs. Love that movie. I can quote some of it, and I can basically tell you what happened through the whole damn thing.
That position right there has been used in a lot of movies.
Yeah. And they make fun of it. Everybody makes fun of this. Every gun enthusiast ever has made fun of this crossover. Because it's useless. Why would you waste time with two guns already pointed out like this to cross over while you're not firing, mind you? He crossed over in front of his hostage that he has zero control over now, by the way. Mm-hmm. He's getting kicked in the dick right here. In an actual situation, he hasn't shot that dummy once. That dummy is still in play. He's getting kicked square in the dick.
And Sally had a good point. He's watched too much of Stallone.
He has. And if this is the person he is trying to protect, this makes it that much worse. That's why I was hoping it's a hostage situation. He has somebody that he can kind of control over. But if it's a civilian he's trying to protect, that makes this crossover all the worse. Because where did he cross over?
Right in front of him. There.
Right in front of him. Head level, chest level. Both of those rounds would kill you almost instantly.
Oh, yeah.
Or you're going to bleed into your lungs and drown on your own blood, which, by the way, is one of the worst ways. Drowning and burning alive are the two worst ways to die. Common ways. There are worse ways, but those are the two most common. People say how they don't want to die. And if this was a civilian he was trying to protect, his fingers never came off the triggers the whole video, and he's crossed over himself, his dummy. He hasn't shot half the people surrounding him. So he didn't.
I applaud you on this one.
What, being able to suffer through it for that long?
No, being able to find this one. This is a great one.
I think this is the worst not injured video we've ever had, because we've had several where they got hit in the head, lived. Yeah. Then we've had the shotgun We've had the buddies last week where they were transferring in front of each other. Dude stood up and got his hat shot off.
Oh yeah, that was really who shoots over top of somebody's head.
I think those are probably the worst ones, but as far as everything goes, this is the worst no injury ever.
Oh,
and you can tell.
Go back here a second. Back further. No.
He tried to shoot this one, but he ran
almost shot himself in the wrist.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Let's see if I'm mistaken that. Okay, there's that one. Oh.
No, he almost shot himself in the bicep, though.
Yeah. There, that one. Did you see how close the angle of the gun? Look, it came down right at his hand.
It did. He either was going to shoot that gun out of his hand or shoot his hand. But if we go a little further, that crossover.
Yeah.
Come on, work with me here.
Right there. The gun is
pointed at his foot.
His leg.
He's pointing at his foot.
Yeah.
I thought this one was getting close to his bicep. It was close. He was close, but it wasn't quite there. But yeah, no, he definitely. Come on, where is it? He crossed over his feet again there. Look.
Yeah.
Look at the revolver. Straight down.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's pointing right down.
It went right across his groin, right across his leg, down at his foot.
Let's see if we can catch anything else.
Every time we watch
and then he starts off just so strong.
Oh, wait a second. Back up there a second.
He's grabbing a hold of his hostage.
Yeah, before he grabbed that, he had a gun in that hand, didn't he?
Yep.
Go back. Go back.
All right, we're at 0-0 right here.
Okay.
No, he unholsters, but he did cross over this dummy again.
Yes.
And it does look like he's angled right at his jump.
Yeah.
His wrist, as you can see from this angle, he is pointing right between his legs, unholstering his gun. He's stomach holstered, which is weird because I think with all the gear he's got on, I'm assuming he's open carrying because you can see right here is his other gun. So why would you have a concealed carry and an open carry at the same time? My thing is, if I'm carrying, I don't want you knowing what I have. I don't want to be the biggest threat in the room. I mean, it's hard not to be because I'm already a huge guy in the first place. But I don't want to be seen as a bigger threat and taken out immediately. But he unholsters from his stomach and points straight. He's pulling up at an angle where anybody else, when you unholster, you come straight up, center chest, and push. Straight up, push. That's it. The gun is pointed down, so if it does discharge, it goes straight in the ground. Unless you're hung like a mule, you might shoot something off. But for most of us people, that's not a huge problem, so it's still going to miss anything important.
Ruth made a good comment. The hostage could have hit his elbow many times.
Yeah, I mean, he's got control of his head. That's it.
Right there, you get kicked in the
Yeah, he's been kicked in the nuts a couple times. Oh, there was another one. He pointed as he unholsters that one. I guess it's going a little. I wish we had somebody for slow motion. How did you grabs his other gun? Yeah, he came up at an angle here.
I wish we had the video he's got up in the top left.
Yeah.
I wish it was enlarged so we could see it better.
No, both guns are hip holstered. There's the other holster and magazines. He's got 3 guns on him, it looks like, because that was a blued one. Oh, yeah, this dude's got the kick.
Yeah, he's been kicked, hit, and blindsided many times.
That was a bad gun holster. He's got another gun sitting right here, too. He's got a shotgun floating around his back or a AR pistol.
The one pointing at the head just gets me every time. Now, okay, I got a question. It's cold out there where he's at, right? You're seeing the breath come out of his mouth?
Yeah.
Or was that smoke out of the guns?
I think that's breath. Yeah, that's his breath.
He ain't breathing a whole lot, is he?
No, but he's huffing and puffing when he does.
Yeah. And kids, don't do this at home.
Don't. Good Lord. We talked about it last week. If you see something that don't look right, it probably ain't right.
No.
And this dude is all screwed up.
That was a good one.
That
took 20 minutes to discuss. That's one of the longest gun crap fails that we've discussed on here.
I think that one's going to hold the record for a long time. I think that one's going to hold that slot for a long.
Yeah, he had to flip the clip around on that last one. And Nina paid attention to a lot of that.
That was awesome. Just, you see why that one was so painful for me? Oh, yeah, I agree.
I hope he's not a hunter.
He's going to be muzzle flashing all his buddies going out. Yeah, how you doing? Oh, my bad. Bro.
He figured he'd do it handguns. He'll have ARs next time trying to do all that.
The AR would be easier to not screw up because you only have the one hand on it. But it would be interesting. You saw how he was holstering his primary on his back at a downward angle on a 2-to-1 sling, which a 2-to-1, it's 2 points to one sling. So it just goes around, goes to a single strap about yay long that clips into your gun itself. I love them. They're comfortable, they're easy to maneuver, and they keep my gun where I want them. But my primary, when pointed down like that, sits on my chest. That way, I'm not using my pistols first because I want to see how he's going to get to this easily, swinging around, muzzle flash everybody, God and country, and then start shooting it. Whereas my pistols are on my sides. If I'm carrying two pistols, for whatever reason, if I just want to that day, he had what looked like three because his first one was black, the third one was blue, and he had a revolver. So I think he had four guns with that. But his primary is back here, so he's got to holster a gun, reach behind him, bring it around, get it positioned, get it up in his shoulder. Whereas mine, how I have mine set, hand goes from my chest, slides down right into my grip, gun comes up. Every single time. Every single time, how I position my guns, hit chest down, I'm good to go. Which is another reason I don't see the benefit of really carrying two pistols, because if you decide to do what Senior McDumbass over here did, that's all, folks. But what he did, he had two guns, so now he's got to holster at least one to be able to reach his gun with one arm, and then he's shooting a firearm, a higher caliber firearm, with one hand. You have no control, no accuracy. You can't aim down sights effectively. Whereas if I use the one pistol, run out, holster, or just drop it, I'm not dropping a $2,000 gun, though. Not in training. Holster it, straight back to primary, good to go. Because studies do show, and I'm sure Joshua will back this up, it is faster to transition to your sidearm than it is to reload your primary.
So what was his point of doing all this?
Trying to look like a badass?
Yeah. Probably on YouTube and TikTok to get money.
Yeah, and he's getting bashed and berated and loving the view count.
As Chad says, maybe to show off his Hollywood self-defense.
Know where all your shit is on your holster belt. You shouldn't have to look for anything. He knows, grabs, and done. Oh, agree. Good Lord. That's why I think he was running 3 different guns, because he had problems. You did point out he had one of his magazines backwards, which your magazines should be pulled straight up and up. You guys can check out Instructor Zero on YouTube.
Never heard of it.
Never have I.
Uh-oh. Here you go, Joshua. Good point. Here goes Cameron looking at it.
Well,
Chad, I'd be looking for cover more than a hostage. Yep.
Drill training. Now, is this guy going to be good, or is this guy going to make me go, ah?
Maybe this is the key to getting you riled up.
But no, it is faster to transition from primary to secondary, get in a safe position, and then reload. However, that is assuming you're only using one. I know what that means. Shouldn't be saying it on here. I want to, but I can't. No, I would rather just take a chance with the hostage being a hot. No, I don't. You don't. No. I'll save myself, or I'll wait for the cops, dude. Go away. But carrying your primary. Okay, he's legit. Thank you. I think he did a Christmas video. See, he would be good to interview on the show there, Josh. But I try and find fails for the top of the hour. I couldn't use him as a fail. He's doing what he's been trained to do, and he's doing it exceedingly well. He would be more of a firearms expert than I am.
And if you know him,
and again, I'm by no means an expert. Although the hopping on one foot is a little weird, but I know why he's doing. He got hit, injured, weighing something. He has to utilize one leg. I know why he's doing that training. It's actually a legitimate training. It looks weird, but that's actually legitimate to shoot fire on each foot individually, pick the other leg up so you can get used. If you get shot, wink. I can't. I don't know if he's got music. I'm trying to listen into Carl and everything. I don't know if he has permission rights or music rights. I don't know. Let's see if. Yeah, nope. He's got music playing too. Can't definitely. So we would have to ask him. Most of the time we get away with it because they're smaller YouTubers, where bigger ones. I mean, this video alone has 3.2 million views. So he's probably monetized, which means he's probably protected his videos at some point in time. So it would be really hard to utilize that without either having to fight Facebook and YouTube or get his permission.
What we need to do is just like I did with Jason Jones on HCX Renegade Radio. You have him live on the show, and you can show his stuff, and he can announce permission for the network and the shows to use it.
True.
That way it's always archived.
But no, just I've never seen anybody ever train with a primary with a 2-to-1 on their back. I've never seen it done. Now, I have seen guns slung on the back, but it's usually a 1-to-1 or a what do they call it? It's either a 1-to-1 or a 2-to-2. I think it's a 2-to-2, which means there's 2 points of connection on the sling and 2 points of connection on your rifle. So it'd go up on your butt, stock it up by your barrel, your handguard, your heat guard, whatever you want to call it, and then that's how it's connected to the 2 points, where the other one's a 1 point. That one makes sense to go on your back because you can't have it hang on your chest. It would just hang down. You still got to fumble with it. Whereas if it's on your back, you grab the buttstock, sling it around, and it rolls into your shoulder. So it's basically straight into a firing position. I would love to get Colin Noir on here. I would love to get him on my show. But he's another big name YouTuber. I think he'd be hard to get a hold of. I find his videos, his biggest takeaway I got from him: keep your nightstand orderly and put the essentials. I like having a fan on my nightstand, but I know where my gun is. I know where my flashlight's at. That was why, and it's getting a little cluttered right now, but that's, he showed it. I love his content. He's such an educated individual. He talks about political belief. He's a phenomenal YouTuber and firearm safety. I love his content. He's an amazing individual. If you ever get a chance, by no means, we have no connections. I'm not sponsored by him. I don't know him personally. I would recommend, if you want more information, that dude's a great person to listen to. Yeah, I would love, that'd be amazing. He has done hundreds, if not thousands of hours of research. He looks into quality of firearms. He's not going out and buying these cheap $400 ARs. He's spending the money and explaining the benefits of it. I love some of his content that I've seen. Yeah.
Well, he is a lawyer.
Yeah, if I could get a hold of him, I'd be Yeah, that'd be great. And then hey, let's go shooting. Let's go blow some shit up. But yeah, if you have the 2-point sling, it rolls back into your shoulder. That's why it makes sense to have your gun on your back and point it down. Whereas the single point connection is it's easier to keep on your chest, and knowing your magazine, and that's why you don't want to over encumber yourself with firearms. Now, ammo is a different story. I can't remember the guy's name, but he has that real raspy voice. Clint Smith. Clint Smith is hilarious to watch because he gives practical information in a veteran mindset. Cause that guy. Because he talks about
Ranch. Okay.
It's Thunder Rants.
Thunder Ranch.
Thunder Rants. RANTS. Thunder. He is hilarious because he talks about how heavy a gun is, and he's like, no gun is too heavy when you're in a fight. That's true. Okay. No. True. But he talks about that. Then he talks about ammo and shotgun ammo. And he asks how much ammo is too much ammo. And some people are like, there's not enough. And some people are like, well, you only need this much. And no, the more ammo you have for a shotgun, the better, because you're going to be loading one, dropping one. You're going to be racking it, ejecting live rounds. There is no such thing as too much shotgun ammo. And I love when he talks about the benefits and damage of a pistol, a rifle. And that's actually where I got the information I taught you, Carl. A rifle, he's the one that taught me rifle rounds were not designed to kill. They were designed to push through a body, injure them, so that way they get two people have to carry the injured party off. So now you're down 3 opponents, where if you just kill them, you still have the other 2 to deal with. He's the one that taught me that information. Then he goes, pistol rounds are designed to hurt, and, hollow points expand on impact, all that. Then he talks about shotgun rounds. He's like, a shotgun is designed to take somebody's chest and throw that shit on the floor, and you will have to call somebody to clean it up with a shovel. I'm like, oh, dude's hilarious to watch. Love watching Clint. He is the funniest gun guy I have ever seen.
We found your new voice. Me.
Yeah, till he sees it, like, are you making fun of me? Nope. No, I'm not. Sure as hell sounds like it. I'm just trying. Dude has no F's to give. He's hilarious. Oh, hold on, Josh. Let me get you the Discord real quick before you run out.
Damn. I had him riled up, and now y'all got him laughing and giggling.
Copy. All right, Josh. Our Discord link is down there for you.
Oh, folks, thanks for joining the Second Amendment Ranch. You can find it also on the Bill of Rights Network with a lot of other shows.
Oh, this has been so much fun. This has been a fun show. Thanks, Josh. Thanks, Nina. Y'all have made this so entertaining for me. I've loved that. This episode has been a blast to do. We still have a half hour-ish. So if y'all have any more questions, comments, concerns, anything like that.
What other topic you got? I know you got more.
I didn't even really get a hit on most of the topics I brought up for today. Let's make fun of all guns bad, and they should all be banned. Bye, Chad. You're banned. Bye.
No, he heard. He didn't say it. He heard. You tell all your.
That's like saying every gun is an assault rifle. Oh, it's an assault gun. It's assault styled. Assault is a term. It's a verb.
That's an assault lighter. Assault lighter right there.
All guns are bad. Well, how do you think you get meat during your winter times and deer seasons and duck seasons? Hogs are everywhere.
Oh, ink pen. Yeah, you're just trying to get him riled up again. I know, Cam.
Well, Alec Baldwin's going to get me riled up.
Oh, yeah. Get ready for
Alec,
this, folks.
Alec Baldwin said he didn't pull the trigger in the fatal shooting on Rust. In his first interview since the fatal shooting on the set film of Rust, actor Alec Baldwin told ABC George Stephanopoulos that he didn't pull the trigger on the gun that killed the cinematographer. Helena Hutchins died after being helicoptered to a hospital, and the film director was injured after the gun went off on October 21st. Take my bag. Buy your meat from the store where it's natural. Oh, there was a paper about that. A vegan had bought a paper article, old newspaper, and said, "Why do people hunt animals when you can go to the supermarket and get all your meat humanely and it's natural and it's hunt?"
Yeah.
You know how they get the meat to the supermarket? They have a fun little tool called a bolt gun, and what it does is most of them are pneumatic pressured or air pressured.
Mm-hmm.
And you put it to a cow's temple.
Yep.
And it's got a little squeeze trigger on it. And it sends, what is it, Carl, 4 or 5 inch spike?
Yep.
Straight through the cow's skull.
Same thing with a hog.
Yeah, he called the husband and apologized if he didn't do it. Well, I apologize. I call bullshit. He is setting up for gun malfunction. And then he fake cried during his interview. Yeah, he's an actor. That's what he does. He's got enough money to try and make this disappear. Let's continue. In a clip released by ABC on Wednesday, Baldwin breaks down in tears as he recalled how Hutchins was loved and admired by the people who worked with her. The full conversation airs Thursday evening. "You said you're not a victim, but this is the worst thing that's ever happened to you," Stephanopoulos asks. Baldwin replied, "Yes." When Stephanopoulos mentions that it wasn't the script for the trigger to be pulled, Baldwin counters, "The trigger wasn't pulled. I didn't pull the trigger." He says, "I would never point a gun at anyone and pull a trigger. Never." Others connected to the Rust shooting spoke with Good Morning America Thursday. The attorney for Dave Hall's Rust assistant director told the show Halls also had maintained that Baldwin didn't pull the trigger. Lawyer Lisa Taraco said her client, speaking about Baldwin, told her his finger was never in the trigger guard. In the clip of Baldwin's interview, he says he has no idea how a real bullet ended up on the set of Bonanza Creek Ranch in Santa Fe, New Mexico earlier this week. Investigators executed a search warrant at PDQ Arm and Prop LLC, a company in Albuquerque that provided guns and dummy rounds to the set of Rust. Seth Kinney, an arms vendor and owner of PDQ Prop and Arm, told Good Morning America Thursday that he was the only one who provided rounds to the film. According to the search warrant, longtime Hollywood armorer Theo Reed, the father of the Rust armor, Hannah Gutierrez Reed, told investigators that he too had previously worked on a film set with Kinney. On that film set, Reed told investigators the crew trained actors with live ammo, and after production, Kinney took the live rounds with him. Reed told investigators that those rounds could match those found on the Rust set. So at one point, again, there's no such thing as a prop gun.
Nope.
This proves it right here. This kills that argument right there. Because they're using live rounds. They did not say live guns, live rounds, which means these firearms can utilize live bullets versus a blank. So there's your first screw up right there. Kinney, who did not show his face on camera, told Good Morning America on Thursday Theo Reed's claims were not possible, and any rounds he sends to set are individually tested to ensure they are not dangerous. Baldwin, Hannah Gutierrez Reed, Seth Kinney, and Dave Halls are all named as defendants in lawsuits alleging negligence on the set of Rust. Gutierrez Reed lawyers say they want the investigation to uncover where the live rounds came to on set. We also hope there will be further investigation into the important detail about a new ammo box being seen on the day of the shooting. Sounds like somebody brought live rounds so they could pull a trigger on a gun between shooting. And it sounds like they didn't empty all the rounds out.
Well, you also had 90 people walk off that set just an hour before it happened.
So there's a lot of sketchy things going on right here. Authorities continue to investigate the shooting and have cautioned against jumping to conclusions about what happened. If the facts and evidence and law support charges, then I will initiate prosecution at that time. I'm a prosecutor. I was elected in part because I do not make rash decisions and I do not rush to judgment. Unfortunately, they don't tell us how the gun discharged. And if he, and Carl and me got into this for about 15 minutes before the show, if it's a revolver, which odds are it is, if you cock the hammer and don't put it into a locking position, some hammers have one where you have to pull it all the way back. Some of them have a safety lock where you go in between the full pull, and it's a safe hammer. I mean, you can still hit it and get it all the way back, but it won't allow you to pull the trigger in that position. Pull the trigger. If he was trying to put a gun on safe, thinking it had a safe at this point, he could have missed it, thought he heard a click, felt the click, something, and then just released. And that hammer could have dropped right into that round. And that's all it takes.
Yeah.
If you have live, so you can pull a trigger on a revolver and not have it discharge. I like to use my thumb or my hand, depending on how heavy that hammer is. I'll put my whole hand right between that hammer. I will let that hammer drop on the palm of my hand before I let it hit a live round. And then I'll just roll my hand over and let that hammer slowly come in. Or you use your thumb, which the thumb's a little more dangerous because you have to know how much weight to expect when that drops. So you need to make sure when you pull that trigger, you can ease that hammer forward.
Just like Vincent Jones, new listener, and don't recognize that name. Welcome to the show. I worked on weapons for the Army for 20 years. Let me check it out and see if it has a faulty sear. I wish you could, Vincent.
So do I. And another veteran.
Yeah, welcome to the show.
So, Vincent, I'm a Navy veteran. This guy over here to my right, your left, or your right, whatever. Yeah, that's Carl. He's also another. He's a veteran from the time when Mattel made firearms, the toy company. So, welcome to the show. This is a Second Amendment Ranch. We like to talk about your rights, liberties, and benefits of owning firearms. We also do a gun fail at the top of the top of the mid-hour during our show. You kind of missed it, and it was a bad one. You can check it out after the show. We also put our Discord in the comments. If you want our Discord, you can reach out to myself or Carl at any point in time.
Right.
So we appreciate you joining us. We love seeing more vets follow us.
They had the contract for a while. Are you talking about the person in charge of the gun?
I think he's talking about Mattel.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. My first name is 16. Thank you. A toy company.
Yeah, I love bringing that memory back up.
Yes,
to you.
Vincent, and thank you for your service. Yep, Mattel.
Told you. I love bringing. Every time
it to me, I went, a toy.
I love it. Every time I bring that up, I can feel him shudder just a little bit.
It made me feel real safe, let me tell you.
So fun.
Thank you, Vincent.
Thanks, Vincent. Yeah, we love having veterans here, and we love bringing veterans on the show. If you'd ever be interested to come on, just let us know. Again, you can get to us through our Discord, and you can shoot us messages at any point in time, day or night.
Yeah.
We also like to hold accountable. One of the other things we like, well, I wouldn't say like to talk about, but we hit the topic a lot, is suicide, specifically more pertaining to the veteran side, because we don't like the 22 a day. But in fact, during this pandemic, the 22 a day jumped to 30 and 40 a day. There's still 50,000 homeless veterans living on the street constantly. So this is a good place to find a battle buddy, have some accountability, find a mission, find a hobby, make friends, do what you need to do to get you out of a bad place. So we are very pro support for us and everybody around us that associates with us.
Right. And if you ever run across or you need help or anything, contact us. We use StreamYard. We can do a private session where it doesn't go live and talk face to face, just like me and Cameron are right now.
Yeah.
At any time.
So not a lot of people do this, and it's disappointing to see, and especially with how hard it is for some people to get that help and ask for that help. This is a place where you can do it. I mean, I've talked about my struggles on it.
Cameron is, Vincent.
I'm in Houston.
I'm in Missouri.
In fact, 3 of us on the Bill of Rights Network are actually out of Houston.
Yeah.
We have, if you go check out the Bill of Rights Network after the show, and you go check out HTX Renegade Radio, their 2 hosts are also located in Houston.
Right. West of Fort Worth. Awesome.
3 hours, give or take, 4 hours maybe.
Yeah.
Not too far.
8.5 for me.
Yeah.
Hey, I was in Texas a month ago.
Yeah, a good portion of our network is based out of Texas. If you ever want to have a show, let us know, man.
Right. Because the odds are it'll come out of Texas.
Yeah. Carl's going to be like, come on.
Hey, I created Bill of Rights Network. Cameron come up with the idea of Second Amendment Ranch for him and me. And then I created Bill of Rights Network and started getting shows on here. It just so happened all the shows started coming out of Texas.
Here in Texas, we love our guns.
Yeah, but we got better gun rights up here in Missouri.
You do, but we still love our guns. We love our country. We love our freedom, and we're worried about our border.
And we have another show up here in Missouri too, Vincent's
Voice.
Right.
So we only have People's Voice.
No, Vincent's
Second Amendment Ranch, Vincent's Voice, Second Amendment Ranch, Paranormal Nation Radio, Not So Normal, and HTX Renegade Radio.
Yep.
Half of our shows are out of Texas, half of them are out of Missouri. And actually, Sally doesn't come to us till Monday. We don't drop back down into the 60s till Monday. No. And even then, it's only like 4 days we're going to be in the 60s.
Kiss it on the warm weather.
Yeah. Texas loves Texas like Kanye loves Kanye. Chad, if only Americans took pride in America like Texans take pride in Texas.
And while we're talking about this, a big shout out to Bargains Creations in Cameron, Missouri. They donated this flag you see behind me for the show. So I got to give a big shout out to them. You can find them on Facebook where they do auctions.
Let me go ahead and put that link in there again for Vincent. There you go.
Okay. Vincent said, oh, you put that on there, and I was going
taking an HVACR class at the moment through Lincoln Tech. When I'm done, there are any vets that want to learn what I've learned, I'm open to help. Again, so the Bill of Rights Network is obviously about the Bill of Rights. So if you are interested in teaching him anything about your 20 years in the Army, dealing with firearms, certain stuff like that, if you need any help with that class, I grew up doing HVAC. So if you need help, you can reach out to Chad Candy, and he'll be able to give you a hand.
And he's out of Florida.
Yep. And I believe Chad is also on our Discord as well.
Right. He originally was from Texas.
Something like that.
Anyway, back on Alex.
Alex, I don't, it's not hard.
And how many live rounds did they find? 400?
It just said a box in that article.
No, they said 400 in one story.
Oh, wow. That's a lot of live rounds on a set. Here's my philosophy on this. Anytime any actor needs to do a movie utilizing a firearm, and I'm not saying they have to do it once. I'm saying every single movie, they need a minimum of a 6-hour firearm safety course. Because a lot of states, you have to have a 12 to 16, 18 to 24, or a 40-hour course in certain states like California. But there are certain requirements per state for them to have a firearm safety course before they can actually get their license to carry or their concealed carry permit, whatever their state is at that point in time. Same situation, but now obviously we have greater risks. This article just squashed that because that was one of the articles when this news came out that prop guns can't fire live rounds. Right there, that proved or that disproved that argument. Flat out, they admitted to utilizing the guns to fire live rounds. That argument is now moot. It's done. It's gone. It's over with. Can't support it anymore. They just confessed that prop guns can use real rounds.
Mm-hmm.
And you're getting paid to point this gun at people with your finger on the trigger, mind you. You need a specific course, and I'm teaching them the rules, regulations, teach them keep your finger off the trigger until you intend to shoot. Keep your gun on safety you intend to shoot. Treat every weapon as if it were loaded with live rounds. And then teach them the acting side, anytime you pick up a gun. You're now trained. Empty it out, check it clear, and inspect every single round. Because honestly, Alec Baldwin, because he had possession of the gun, should be charged with even involuntary manslaughter at the minimum because he had possession of the gun. It shouldn't come down onto anybody else if they can't prove where the rounds came from. If they can prove where the rounds came from, then that person should also be charged with either voluntary or involuntary. Yeah,
exactly, Vincent.
So if they find out who brought the live rounds, they should be charged as well. But because Alec Baldwin had possession of the gun, failed to do any safety checks, failed to follow the rules, failed to follow any kind of safe practices, he killed somebody. Doesn't matter that he didn't have his finger on the trigger. Guns are faulty. We've showed multiple gun fails where we had the one where the shotgun fell off the wall and discharged. Yep. We had the gun fail where a dude was reloading a shotgun and one of the rounds rolled off the table and exploded. The round, just the shotgun round rolling onto the table, off the table, caused it to discharge. We've covered that. Every single weapon, every gun, every round is a potential life. And I'm not trying to discourage anybody from getting a gun or ammunition or anything. It's just handle it safely. Treat it like treat it with the respect that it deserves.
Right.
So when you have possession of this gun, whatever occurs, because anybody else, I swear, anybody else, any normal person, not actor, any normal person that ran into that situation right there, this case would have been open shut. It would have been, you killed him. You may have not meant to. Involuntary manslaughter, you're going to prison. That would be it right there. Any other normal human being, this would have been, you killed him. You're going to prison. Done. But because Alec Baldwin's famous and he's an actor and he was shooting a movie and he's got millions of dollars, this is going to sit open. And they're going to do huge investigations, massive amounts of wasted taxpayer dollars, which regardless, Alec should go to prison anyway.
Right.
Voluntary or involuntary, you had possession of the gun. This goes for anybody. Republican, Democrat, Libertarian, Communist, Socialist, you name it. LGBTQ, gay, straight, but anybody that's got this gun, if you have it in your hands, accidental discharge, correct fake. Yes, thank you. I apologize, Daniel. Thank you. Negligent. This was a negligent discharge.
That's Vincent's cousin. That's what he said in there. So welcome to the show.
But no, that's 100% accurate. And anybody else would go to prison for a negligent discharge. Anybody. Daniel, Vincent, you, me, Chad. If we had this situation where we were shooting a movie for YouTube and I had one of my guns and the hammer dropped, something happened, I'm going away for a long time and I'll never be able to own guns again.
Right.
Because I had possession of that gun at that point in time. And I did not treat it with the respect it deserved.
And Barbara's got the right comment. He has tons of money. Best lawyers, he will get off.
He shouldn't. I know you're probably right. Because the money controls everything. Cash is king, baby. It always will be with how we built our country. He has enough money to make this be somebody else's fault, which is bullshit. You had control of the weapon and failed to follow common sense at the least, and you cost somebody their life. for being a idiot. Whether it was blank rounds or not, you can cut clips. You can put people where you do not have to point a fully functioning firearm at anybody for any reason beyond taking that person's life. It's the only reason to point a gun at somebody. Any sane human being, any sane veteran, civilian, you name it, any person that gives that answer, if you point a gun at somebody, you intend to kill them. You're not, oh, I'm making a movie. You're not, oh, well, it was for a skit. It was for this. No. I was going to kill them. End of discussion. I know that's a little dark, but that's the honest truth.
And Sally brings up a good point. She don't think the live round came from his gun.
Oh, ballistics would have to check that.
Ballistics had to check that prop gun, so-called prop gun. I'll use that term to see if gunpowder residue.
Bobby, it's because I'm talking a lot of shit that Facebook doesn't like.
Oh, he's not frozen here.
No, if I'm still frozen, let me know.
Yeah.
And honestly,
and
that
look
could
at
be
the Baldwin history of the Baldwin family. They don't do time. None of
had
it.
to deal with the firearm. Oh God, yeah, yeah, Vincent, yes. But that's an interesting because I know the person that died apparently had been bringing or had been discussing that she was going to bring evidence of Hillary Clinton's misdeeds to light.
You're frozen.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Not here, you're not, but on Facebook you are. Barbara says you're. Oh, now I'm in Texas.
Yeah,
oh my God!
So that's interesting because it would not be hard. You would have to get ballistics. You would have to find ballistics on this, whether it be the round, the entry and exit, because every round is going to create a different entry and exit hole. And if it came from a rifle, that's going to be a substantially different entry and exit wound. And it wouldn't be hard where they were at. It was very open. It would not be hard to put a sniper out there somewhere, throw a suppressor on it. You get the right trained individuals. There's been people, I think hold on. $3,540 meters is the world record shot.
Yep.
3,000, over 3,500 meters is the world record. You would never hear that shot go off.
No.
With the right attachment, that is way too far. I could see if
and then
I know
could sit there and wait for the perfect timing.
Here's the other thing. Exactly. He points the gun in her direction, pulls the trigger with Alec lined up. Alec gets the fault. Sniper was never there because they're trained to be ghosts.
Now, if you hear this on fake news, you know where it came from. It's an opinion, a theory.
Yeah, it's a conspiracy theory. But we did cover how Angelina Jolie had hired a hit person to kill her because she couldn't deal with life anymore, didn't want to commit suicide. Hitman came forward, confronted her, didn't want to do it, talked her out of having him kill her, and she brought this up. She, in an interview, said, I had hired a hitman to kill me. So I know actors and actresses have access to hitmen. How hard would it be for, I don't know, politicians?
Yeah. And as Sally says, it's a setup to frame a Second Amendment rights Christian. It's exactly right. It is.
Look at what happened to Jim Carrey. For those of y'all that don't know, during an interview.
Did they ever do the ballistics on the round? If they have, we haven't heard about it.
No, not yet. And I don't think we'll ever hear about it. Because I think Carl's right. In all honest opinions, I think Carl may have hit it on the head because during that article, they had admitted that no, he did not have his finger on the trigger.
No, Sally brought that up.
Yeah, Sally brought that.
Good point, Sally. We'll stay tuned and listen to
and
that.
Even in the article, it said he never, that one of the witnesses said Alec's finger was never in the trigger guard.
Yeah. And
So
Barbara
there's
said she was ready also to expose something with Epstein's deal, and you got Maxwell up there going on trial. Which stay tuned to that trial because there's going to be some names dropped in
Well, I
that.
mean, look at Hillary Clinton. She was supposed to go to trial September of 2019 or 2020, and it never came to light. Like it
No.
disappeared that day. 2 days later, I was trying to find it again, gone off
Right.
the internet.
And a lot of people that was associated with Clinton's mysteriously die.
We also covered that.
We covered that last week.
There was what 50 people
Yeah.
that just magically
This
disappeared.
recent one was what? 2
This
weeks
will
ago?
piss you off, Vincent. Of that 50 people, 6 of them were veterans.
Yeah.
Was it 6? I think we counted 6.
6 of them were.
But yeah, Jim Carrey in an interview and they put a laugh track to make it sound like he was joking, but he was dead serious, stone face. Now, I know Jim Carrey is a comedian. I've never seen him talk like this in this interview before. He was stone cold, talking about the Illuminati controls everything, how they're on the money, how they own the people, how they own the politicians, everything. And then mysteriously, I think it was a week later, his girlfriend ends up dead. Then in another interview, he had stumbled across a red carpet event. And, well, don't you idolize all these idols and people? And he's like, you shouldn't do that. They're just people. You don't exist. You're just a smell to me. So I think he's fine. Right. I'm not worried about it, Daniel.
Well, you seen John Schneider from Dukes of Hazzards. Boy, he's been on Alex Baldwin's case over this whole deal because he's been in movies with guns, directed, acted in them, produced them, and everything. He tells how they all have to go through a series of checking that gun. Even when the actor is handed to him, it's the actor's responsibility to check that weapon before. Because this isn't the first accident that's happened on a movie set.
No, it's not. It won't be the last. No. But if with the witnesses claiming his finger was never on the trigger, I see her being Clinton. I do.
Mm-hmm. Very possible.
Because even if he was just pointing at her, odds of him not aiming down sights, limp wristed.
He said at the beginning he was pointing at the camera. Who was standing behind the camera? She was.
So
she was trying to get the film shot in before they started filming to see where he'd stand.
Which their cameras are pretty decent sized.
Yeah.
They stand on stanchions. So that's a really, even if he was pointing at her, if he's not trying to actually aim, hitting that in a kill shot is rather difficult.
Well,
unless you're trained and know what you're doing and have fired guns multiple times, for an untrained actor to just get a miraculous kill shot with all this in the way, that would be really, really hard to do.
And we have to go back to
just
the very
pointing and pulling the trigger.
When this happened, right? I was trying to look up and remember and everything on it, right? Was there 1 shot or 2 shots he did? If there's 2 shots, how did he not have his finger on the trigger? On a single action or a double action revolver? Because 2 people got hit. Now, whether that bullet went all the way through her and hit the person behind, right? Or if I can't remember back if they said there were 2 shots fired.
It didn't say in that article. It just said one person was killed, 1 person was injured.
Right.
So if there was 2 shots, there was multiple live rounds. But still, typically for an old Western movie, you're not going to have a round tip round like what you see on this one. This is a Full Metal Jacket 9mm. Typically, those rounds back in those days were flat. They were a high impact round. They were meant to do a lot of damage. They were easier to manufacture, and they were a solid chunk of lead. And typically on that impact, they would break. It's lead soft. It's already superheated. So it would fragment upon impact and break and cause more internal problems. So it would have either had to have been a Full Metal Jacket round, which for a period movie would be inaccurate in the first place.
Right.
It would depend on what live rounds they were bringing, and I would love to see the live ammunition that they found to see if it's either the flat tip or a full metal jacket round tipped. And I want to see the entry and exit wounds.
We will see on the trial, I bet.
Because that's going to tell me I'm not an by no means am I an expert, but I know what certain entry and exit wounds should look like for different calibers.
And Sally put a good one. It could have been meant for Alec Baldwin and missed and hit her.
True.
More theories.
But now they're going to pin it on Alec to get him dealt with. So it's still a win situation for him.
Mm-hmm. Well, we've had great comments in the chat room.
Yeah, this one's making me think.
Ooh, you got Cameron going now.
You'd have to find the round itself, and you can lay it out where they were standing, where the entry wounds are, line them up, and gauge that projectile's travel path, and you can find it where it impacted in the ground, in the dirt.
If you remember in the very beginning of it, when the shot happened, the guy ran outside, called 911 and all this and that. When the police got there and found her laying on the ground, they found rounds on the ground, but the gun wasn't there. The gun. How are you going
to find rounds from a revolver?
No, they had. Well, if he emptied them out.
I'm sorry. In that situation, you're going to panic, and the last thought for a panicked person is, let me eject these casings.
What about the one that handed it to him? Going, I handed it. Empty them. They can't prove which bullets were in there.
Yes, you can, because of
the shell.
The shell of it.
We'll have a mark on it.
No, it's different. The shell is longer. It's about the length of the whole round instead of having the round itself. It's the full length of this, right. But the tip is crimped down. So the tip just expands out. That's the ones I've seen. They may have different ones. I know they got rubber.
Vincent's got a good point. Trajectory, velocity, distance. This would prove whether he did it or not. That's exactly right. And we won't know any of that until the trial. I bet you.
And I bet you we won't even learn it then, because if it was a hit, they're going to hide it from the media. And they're not going to let us know.
We found meth up your butt, but you say it wasn't yours.
So, we need a lot, and that's the funny part is people like us that are asking these questions. Odds are we'll never find out. And if that's the case, that should be. Here's the thing about conspiracy theories: if they disappear, they're true.
Yeah, there's going to be a trial.
So, if this gets swept under the rug, odds are Carl's right.
No, Sally's right.
Yeah, Sally's right.
Sally started this whole conversation.
Probably emptied the weapon to prevent anything else from happening or to place evidence.
Exactly.
I see it placing evidence.
Right.
Because again, panic situation, normal human being, Vincent. Think no combat, no weapons training ever. Minuscule actor, maybe. Minimal. I just shot and wounded somebody and possibly killed them. Oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God. Not, oh shit, let me empty this out real quick and dump all this evidence on the floor in front of me.
Right.
And if that's the case, why would he only eject a couple of casings instead of the 6, which would prove either it had live rounds or blanks put in it? Because if you ejected it, that's how a revolver works. You open the drum, hit it, everything comes out, not just 2 rounds.
Hey, Michael.
Hi, Mike.
And you're right. Nobody's been charged yet. So trial, until somebody's charged, then there'll be a trial. But look how long this has been, and nobody's been charged yet.
See, that's the difference between a revolver and a semi-automatic pistol, where the semi-auto is kicking out the brass every time. A revolver is holding onto your brass. So if we only found 2 rounds on the ground from a revolver, why?
Right.
Because there should be 5, 6, 7, or 8 in some guns, but most of the time, old
6.
school movies like this are going to be 6. So why aren't we finding 6 rounds on the ground and 4 of them?
Find the one that was spent.
Because you're not going to open it up and pull just 2 pieces out and throw them on the ground right there, close it up and walk away. That takes thought. That takes somebody knowing or what they need to do. Hey, I'm going to walk over here, open this up, carefully pull out the 2 that were hit, drop them in this specific location, and walk away with the gun.
And he's been on movie sets where there's been other guns. He's had to have some training, knowledge of what to do when you're handed a gun on a set.
Oh, Vincent, if this was 2 races, it would have been everywhere.
Oh, yeah. But like I said, if this wasn't a gun involved, if this would have been a car accident, a stunt went wrong where somebody was to blame and everything, we wouldn't be talking about it. It wouldn't be on any of the news anywhere. And some 22s are 9-shot. Exactly. But the ones in these old movies, they're, as we all grew up calling them, 6-shooters. So somebody calling you?
Coworker actually texting me, trying to figure out. Oh,
that's right.
He's geeky like me.
He wouldn't even have made the news if
just
anything other than a gun.
Too many things aren't lining up right. Too much weird, separate information. Too much.
Yeah, we look at the conspiracy part of things. You know, there's always theories out there. You know, we're not the only ones. If they're investigating it, they've got to look at theories.
Watch this blow up and disappear. Watch us get 100,000 views on this. If you can't find this video anymore, we have it saved.
Yeah.
We'll post it every single day.
I will download it.
But that means if it disappears, Sally was right.
That's right.
Actually, we're considered terrorists there, Chad. We're not cultists. We're terrorists because we're a patriot.
Pick it apart and figure it out.
I thought that was part of the
evidence. Me down there, and I'll do it.
Yeah, I'll go out there. I'll go out there with a metal detector and walk for 20 miles trying to find where that round went into. Odds are it's probably gone at this point.
I'm sure there's plenty of blood in that little church building that it was in.
I bet you they line up where that round came from. It won't match Alec Baldwin's step. I bet you if they find the trajectory, they're not going to see. And you could figure that out from how she was standing behind the camera and the angle it traveled through her body.
Well, something I want you to look at, okay? Everybody knows in the morning what you're going to be doing.
Barbara, I'm never politically correct.
What you're going to be doing at certain times. If you're going to be in practice in a scene, who's going to be on the stage and all this and that. They had 90 people walk off that set an hour before this shooting.
Yeah, right? That doesn't make sense either. They're clearing
an hour away, 45 minutes, you can make a long shot. You know exactly where they're going to be at.
Yep.
Because the morning meeting.
And now you know you have a clear shot because there's not anybody there anymore.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't line up. That tells them, hey.
And what better way for the 2 people, the main 2 people involved, the one that's injured, I feel sorry for him, but the one that was shot and killed, she was ready to leak out information, right? Then you take Alex Baldwin, who's always been against the Second Amendment, right? So now you take him out. He's got to fight because he's against guns to begin with. And then she's out of the picture.
Yep.
Oh,
it's a win-win for anybody in that position.
We have a gun grabber. If somebody was getting paid and 1,000 yards off.
Yep.
And we all know there's people out there that can do that.
And those numbers grow constantly.
Yes, they grow constantly.
there are people out there that set their guns at. I have one of them that you can just set at 1,000 yards.
We had a friend of ours that said he set one up. What was it, 1.25 miles?
Mm-hmm.
And knocked a nickel off of a post with a 338 Papua.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Lapua. This
so
right
yeah.
here.
So it's not impossible. Yeah, it kicks like a mule.
Same people worried about cow farts. Yep. Freedom fanatic. There you go. There's your new nickname, Vincent.
But folks, we thank you for joining and share this out to your friends. We thank all the new people here. Keep finding us here Friday nights at 6 p.m. Central Time for the Second Amendment Ranch. I mean, I'm surprised everybody showed up. This is our first show on the new schedule.
Yeah, we had a lot of people show up. I think the highest we hit was 14.
Vincent did a 7.62 at 1,650 meters.
He did it. Vincent's guilty.
But, yeah. So, what else we got?
Well, it's past our time slot, and I don't want to start getting into the boring articles because we already filled it with great content. There's no point in ruining it.
Exactly.
We actually had great conversation today. I mean, I couldn't have asked for better discussion and conversation, interaction. This was a phenomenal show.
Right.
Everyone, when is the paranormal? That is still Tuesdays from 5 to 7 Central.
Yep.
That one hasn't changed. Just the
that one hasn't changed, and we're also on, besides the Bill of Rights Network and all the other shows that we have on there. We're live on there, but we're also over at Things Network, where our show was added on over to their network too.
But Vincent, you can join us any point in time in the Discord. You're more than welcome to reach out to us. I'm Brogan Viking. He's Wizard of Odd or Wizard Odd, something like that.
Wizard of Odd.
Yeah, he's the whiz on the Discord. I appreciate y'all coming out. I love seeing new people. I love the interaction. It was a great show today, guys. I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. That makes doing this all worth it. It's not a good show without y'all interacting. We look forward to seeing you again next Friday, same time, same places. As always, I'm Cameron.
And I'm Carl.